Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we now have an elytra. But how did we get this elytra? And why am I doing back flips or front flips? I really don't know. We're inverted right now. But obviously, we defeated the Ender Dragon in the last episode, and we explored the end, which is very vast and very, very boring. So I simply will just cut that out and show you in this part of the beginning of the video. But today we'll be doing two things. One, expanding the warehouse, and three, wait, I think I skipped two. And two, we'll be creating a new enclosure. I've also done a few things off screen. Now we're a millionaire. I'm just playing. We I say we as in me. I have fixed some terraforming stuff to make it blend in a little bit better, so we don't have to worry about that off screen. And if you want to see some of that boring stuff in the future, I can keep that in. I don't know, it's all up to you, but let's get into the video. After killing the Ender Dragon, I explored the end. Look how majestic it looks. I thought that was the weather. I was a little scared. But we have 16 rounds of explosive ammo. And look! New shaders. This looks amazing. It's a little bit more not resource intensive on the PC. I don't know why I keep doing this accent. It's just something I fall back to. But let's go to the city! But before we get to the city, I decided to turn off shaders because, as you can see here, Distance Horizons on 1.18 allows me to see how far things are. There's a city over there, there's a city over there, the city over there, the city right there, and we're looking for elytra. We're not spending forever in this thing, so let's go get this elytra. Be the speed running part of me getting the elytra. I tried to shoot that thing, but it didn't work, so we ended up killing a bunch of shulkers. Also, apparently if you kill a shulker, they drop something else. I'm pretty sure it's part of the Alex mod, but it gives you mimic cream. I don't know what mimic cream is going to be used for, but hey, that is that. In reality, we really didn't get a lot of good loot, mainly just because we are literally walking good loot. We don't really need any of it. But it's good to have it, especially if we need to do anything in the future. Plus, shulker boxes are a good thing to have in the long run. So that's pretty snazzy. But I definitely fall plenty of times getting up here. Also, apparently, due to us being on the Just Levels mod and having already had our levels pretty much maxed out entirely, we don't get negative debuffs. So I'm being hit with the levitation things for those strokers, and I'm just tanking it. So I also have 6 hearts. So I mean, in reality, nothing's killing me. So I simply just go in here, loot everything, and then eventually we get the elytra. So that's pretty snazzy. And as you can see here, we've done more decorating around the world, adding an umbrella as well as some chairs, which I'll show later, as well as terraforming, as I've mentioned in the beginning of this episode. So, make everything look a little bit better, and finishing the projects that I said I would finish before getting on to new projects, because that's what we'll be doing today. And we will continue to a tour. As you can see, I've added the water here. I might make it a little bit deeper. I don't know. But as you can see, look, it looks amazing in the daylight. We got the chairs, we got the table, so you can sit down and eat outside. Maybe order a book. Not from Phil, because he's dead. Rip Phil in the chat. Can we get a Rip Phil in the chat? I'll probably replace him with another Phil. We'll call him Bill. And close this gate right here. And as you can see, we are walking down the path. I don't know what to do in this next part, but this right here is the main piece of resistance. As you can see, we can go both ways, but if we walk down here, we have the terraforming, so it blends in a little bit better. I like how this looks, but this will lead into other paths where we can do more things in the future. And we're back! Yes. I don't know when this part will be in the YouTube video, but hopefully this comes out on New Year's Eve. And if you're watching this on New Year's Day, Merry Christmas! But yes! Now you're probably wondering, where am I? Well, we go over here. We go up here. I'm in the warehouse, which obviously this is left over before. I don't believe I actually showed this, but I did clean this up. Do I prefer it looking like this? I don't think so. But I might just make another elevator, because I think that will make a little bit more sense. So, either way, we're going back to the basics. So, this is going to be the continuation of the warehouse. And I decided that I'm just going to ramble while I decide to build out this warehouse. So, I have a few things I want to talk about. Some of it may be just channel things, other things might be just random things that, you know, you want to babble on to the void. This is also going off no script. I have no script because scripts are for nerds. But, you know, maybe in the future I might do some script stuff. Not for this channel. Actually, no, it would be for this channel. Maybe for Into the Void. Not Into the Void. Echoes of the Void. I know I haven't done that one in a hot minute. But, you know, times are hard out here. Times are hard. And I'm going to say right now, Times of the Void. See, I don't even remember the name of it. Echoes of the Void. Season 1. Yes, Season 1. You're hearing me correctly. Has ended. Imagine if I was an anime studio and they killed the lead director. The lead director is now dead. So, he can no longer make the last episode. Or the few last episodes of Into the Void. And that's what's happening with Into the Void. Now, you're probably wondering in regards to like, oh god, what happened to the lead director? Why he get shot? Well, he got shot because he forgot to pay his taxes. I'm just playing. I simply, after a while, I think I might have mentioned this in like a really old YouTube clip of mine. But the main reason is just the fact that after a while, it became a thing where like, okay, well, we need to go get this material. Because it is a Let's Play series. But when we go get the material, which is technically considered, I would say considered boring. You would go get the items, and then out of nowhere, something would pop up, and then bang, I'm dead. And now it's another hour of me going to trying to find said material. It'd be a thing of just constantly repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. But before we get talking, we need to have more brick. So we are simply using the deployers. Oh my goodness. Wait. Okay, it's just glitched out. It looks like they're really low in durability. And I'm not trying to lose my legendary attire. But we will simply just cook up the brick, and then I will continue the segment of me talking and rambling a lot. So, when you see that point, either I'll have it... I think what I'm going to do is just build, and then I'll pre-record my voice. So it flows off a little bit better, and it allows me to watch videos and build the whole place. So, we'll be waiting for these to get done, and then we'll go on to the rest of the builds. So I'll see you then. Alright, so the actual talking segment will begin now. So you'll see me both moving over the automatic sap gathering farm, as well as building the warehouse. And what I mean by building warehouse, I mean simply just putting the building blocks in. And I know this is a time lapse, but you know, it's at 5 times speed. Initially it was going to be at normal time speed, and I'm simply going to talk over it. I'm probably going to lower the music down, so it's not going to be as vast in the background. But as of right now, it's pretty loud, so I'm actually going to probably change that right. Dang, it cut off right now. I've already changed it now, so it sounds a little bit better for my ears. But I have bullet points in regards to what I will be talking about while the time lapse goes on in the background. Because respectfully, I haven't actually had, you know, a nice cordial conversation to sit down with you guys while stuff was going on in the background. I have 3 points. I might add more while I'm talking, because, you know, like I said, everything is unscripted at this point. But our first bullet point is Dresswood Rebirth trailer in regards to canon. Now, Dressworld, I keep want to say Dressworld Evolution. Dressworld Rebirth, I'm going to say Rebirth. Rebirth has been out for, I would say, a decent while. I think it came out like the halfway point of 2025. We're at the end point, literally, as I'm recording this. This should come out in... tomorrow, actually. This should come out tomorrow. I don't know why it took so long there. We're not cutting that. It should come out tomorrow. But in that regard, I'm mainly just talking about this point here, which it should show up as of right now. Alright, obviously I've already recorded the audio about the mention, but actually watching the actual trailer, the original one, she mentions Jurassic Park. So everything I'm about to say doesn't matter, but it's still a trailer, so technically it doesn't even matter, but I'm still going to ramble on. So imagine if she didn't mention Park, and I'm not going to show you it because it defeats the purpose now because she mentioned Spark. But hey, I believe I've gave enough time for it to play its little audio. I believe Scarlett Johansson in this trailer mentions that this is the original site for the Jurassic Park. I'm pretty sure if everyone's seen the movie, the laboratory is where, you know, the Stortus Rex as well as the Mutodons were first conceived or made. I don't know why I said conceived, but they were made there. And eventually, you know, the Snickers bar destroys the world, and now we have an island running full of crazy, not normal dinosaurs. But with that being said, she obviously mentions in the trailer that this is the first site for the original park. Now, I think we all know that that is not true. Or two, if that is true, then it has now ruined Jurassic Park 2 and Jurassic Park 3. Because technically those are Site B and those are the original sites. And specifically Hammond mentions that Site B was actually where the breeding facility happened. And also, respectfully, majority of that gear that is there is way too advanced. Now, you know, you can say that, you know, they came in and, you know, upgraded it. And they're like, oh, this is actually, it was originally, you know, the first store. I'm pretty sure if you go to find the first McDonald's store in America, it's not gonna look like how it originally looked. You know, it got its upgrade, but I'm pretty sure that's not what they were trying to do there. And also, I'm pretty sure they just did that for the actual like trailer to get people to go watch the movie. But if we still were to consider that canon, because I don't think anyone considers trailers to be canon to the actual movie, so I'm pretty sure that's just a normal thing in general. But initially when it came out, everyone was like, oh, this is what's going to be said in the movie, or this is going to happen in the movie. I don't believe at any point she mentions this in the movie. Also, it kind of sounded like AI a little bit in the trailer, but hey, that's here, near, there. But if we were to consider that part a little bit canon, and for this hypothetical thing that I'm talking about as of right now, it could just be the fact that she's mentioned that this is the original park for Jurassic World. And the reason why I feel like that fits in a little bit more is mainly just the fact that, yes, in Jurassic World, the first one, it is mentioned that, you know, this is still canon to all the Jurassic Park movies. But only the guy who actually had the Jurassic Park memorabilia mentioned the old park. And obviously it being there still. But I think the key factor here was the fact that also in that movie, that's where, you know, legit Jurassic World fell. And I think the pivotal point too is that not a lot of people in that world canon know about the original park. Yes, it was mentioned in the second movie, The Lost World, where Ian Malcolm has violated his NDA and, you know, spoke about what happened at the original park. But then eventually they bring the dinosaur to the mainland. And then even in Jurassic Park 3, they are trying to question Alan about both the first incident and the second incident. But after that point, I feel like it probably just dies off. I don't know how long it took in between the two movies. I could probably look it up, and it's probably right here on screen. But the major incident that occurred for Jurassic World was the fact that in the second movie, the dinosaurs are all on mainland. Now, we can talk all day about how they butchered, you know, Dominion. But, you know, beating a dead horse. Besides that, the reason why I feel like the original park is mentioned is because in this time frame, the original park would be Jurassic World, because everyone knows what happens at Jurassic World, because it was an actual park that was open. People went to it and people saw the dinosaurs. It was probably advertised everywhere. And then eventually the dinosaurs get out. And the reason why the dinosaurs got out was like, well, where did they come from? Well, they came from Jurassic World. So then everyone knows about Jurassic World. So what she mentions it in the trailer, this was the original park, or this was the original research center for the original park. That's how it goes. I keep messing it up. She is mentioning Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park. But they don't say it in the movie. So technically I'm fighting a non-existent battle here. But hey, you know, I could take this clip and put it somewhere. So that being said, so I guess we'll go over to the next thing. The Jurassic World Evolution 3 Spinosaurus needs to be fixed. Now, what do I mean by it needs to be fixed? And why do I keep harping on the Jurassic World Evolution design in regards to the Spinosaurus? And it's two things. As you can see on screen, I should be showing it now. This is the original Jurassic. I'm not going to say the evolution. I'm going to say evolution. This is the original evolution design for the Spinosaurus. Looks fine. This is their own iteration. For the time being, you know, my little blind eyes, I was still in school when this model came out. It looks fine. In comparison to this model, for Jurassic World Evolution 2, it looks way better. Now, I'm showing the beginning half of Jurassic World Evolution 2. And if we slide this image over, technically this can be considered Jurassic World Evolution 3, but at the very end of Jurassic World Evolution 2, they did update the Spinosaurus model, also adding new animation and the signatures, Spinosaurus breaking neck of T-Rex. But as you can see here, they definitely upgraded it in regards to how it stood, because like I said, it was a little bit back heavy. So initially we started off with their own design. It looks cool. The paint scheme is there. Then they upgraded, and now it's the second one. Now it actually has an accurate head sculpt, but the model and the actual body still aren't the same. And then eventually they finally fixed the arch, and it is actually walking how it's supposed to. But it is still having an issue, and it looks wrong. I feel like the neck is a little bit too long, and I might be showing a side-by-side comparison. I know I'm saying I think, and it's mainly just because I haven't actually sat down and done the actual measurements, but I feel like the neck is a little bit too long, and I feel like that's what it is. Or something doesn't blend correctly. It could be the head. I feel like the head probably sticks out a little bit too much at the very top. I'm also saying this not looking at a picture. I'm looking at the recording of me, with the wand and staring at the wall right now and going up to the ceiling and flying back down, because I'm doing the voiceover while looking at the video. But to me, there's still something wrong there. And also, in addition to it, the audio for the Spinosaurus doesn't sound correct. Now, I know in a recent Best of Slide video, as well as, other content creators, they actually went over to Frontier and were there when they were talking about, the new content that was coming out, and explaining how they make the audio for some of the creatures, custom audio, because they actually have to go and do it themselves. Because, some of these dinosaurs don't have any, famous things, or correction, they don't have any, screen time in regards to it being in an actual Jurassic World movie. And also, we have to remember that some of these movies came out in like eons ago. I was gonna say a specific date, but I really don't remember the specific dates. I'm a fake fan, I know, but they actually have to, get those files and update them with the new stuff. And nowadays it probably won't work that well because it's such old audio files. Like, I believe there was something going around where like the original 2014 Godzilla roar was missing for a while, or like it was lost audio, so that's why they weren't using it for any of the new Godzilla movies. That could be the same thing with the Spinosaurus. But also they just like butchering the Spinosaurus because they hate Spinosaurus fans. But that's the main thing there. I like it to be updated. I know I'm talking into nothing here, and you're simply listening. The 50 of you that do listen to me, thank you. But I just wanted to get that out there while all this is still going on. Now, the final part that I have up here, actually I think I have a second thing, or actually a fourth one. I keep, numbers are hard for me, by the way. Anyhow, I want to talk about why I can't watch streamers. Now, you're probably wondering, Sir Nunez, what does this have to do with dinosaurs in Minecraft? Well, two things. One, I am also a human at the end of the day. How dare ye? Second, I'm also a human at the end of the day. How dare ye? Basically, obviously when I'm recording this video, as of right now, I am watching, well, I say as of right now, when I'm placing these blocks, at the time I was recording this, I am watching a VOD of a stream that someone had recorded. But I'm watching a specific streamer, and I'm not going to mention their name because it's whatever. And respectfully, you don't need to know. But I recently, I maybe it's a thing for me. It's only happened twice, so maybe I'm, jumping the gun here. But I would say every month I watch one streamer and only one streamer. And that's mainly because I watch their content for a month, and then after a month I get bored of their content and I don't want to watch anything else. So that might just be a me thing at the end of the day. But I can never actually sit there and watch their streams, because at any point where there's a lull, I want to skip forward. But you can't do that in a live stream. Now, that might be, I said this to my friend, this might be a TikTok brain thing of me, and my brain might be far gone. But respectfully, I've been dumb before TikTok, and that's how my brain was. So, maybe it's the autism in my brain. I don't know. I haven't got diagnosed, but don't worry. Next year is my year, and I'm going to the dentist and the hospital to check everything out. And I will actually come over here and explain all that to you guys. Because, my goal here is to, explain a lot, to talk a lot. And that's what I'll be doing on this channel. But back to the streaming thing. I just can't sit down and watch someone stream, because like I said, there will be a lull period. And the benefit of the VOD is that if I go watch the VOD, I can simply just go to a part that I want to enjoy, which is exactly why people have VOD channels. But the sad part is that there's sometimes where like they're mentioning something, I'm like, oh, I know the answer to that, and then like coincidentally nobody in the chat has the answer, and I'm like, well, I know the answer, but I can't say anything. You know why? Because it's in the past already. It's already been done. So that's that. And I did say I had a fourth thing, but I've already forgotten what it was, and I have to go make dinner. So, and if you want to know what I'm making for dinner, it's literally just chicken and vegetables. Because your boy is trying to your boy's a little chunky, alright? And he's gotten a little chunky. He has to be super skinny. And then, but you know, when the money starts rolling in and it's a nice income, you just start spending money on anything. So save your money, kids, and don't spend it on DoorDash. And I know I said I was going to end this part, but while adding the images for the Spinosaurus, I want to also add that the issue with the model being wrong is the fact that people then take that model and be like, oh, well, we're going to make a 3D model off of it. So then they 3D print that 3D model they made, like, you know, a resin 3D printer, and now it is wrong because of the original source material. And I'm going to say this. Marco Makes is a guy who makes 3D models and has made the dinosaur guide in regards to making sure the dinosaurs look accurate as possible. Now, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a poster where he mentioned that they're not going to be 100% accurate, because at the end of the day, you can't ever be 100% accurate unless you have the physical model in hand, which some of the, actually, you know, majority of them I think are based off like images he's found online. But one of the models I believe he uses for the Spinosaurus is one of the Jurassic World Evolution models, which then now has skewed everything in regards to Spinosaurus, because that is not correct. So that's my issue there. Alright, so we have finished the bottom area as you saw with the time lapse. Yes, I know I rambled on. I remember the other thing I was going to talk about, which was the Spinosaurus, the T-Rex in the Rebirth movie. The reason why I wasn't introduced in any other park was because the roar is ugly. Because I can show up on screen right now. That roar is horrendous. I don't know why they did that. But, as you can see, we cannot. Let me turn on my night vision. This is the finished room. Now, the whole point of this is just I'm going to put random contraptions in here, and then I'll organize it eventually when I have the layout. But most likely we're going here is the tree farm and some other stuff. You know, stuff that we need down the line. But this elevator has been installed. So this is what we have. So, we need to start expanding for another enclosure, which we have two ideas, which we can fly around for. So, we either start over here, connect to this part, and have a little extension over here, or we can connect this piece and then start off doing this bit, which I feel like I'm gonna start doing this first. But what we're gonna need is a lot of wood, so let's go get some wood, people. Alright, and before we get building the new enclosure, we need to find more wood. What? God, the dodos, they're overpopulating. We must end them. End them now. Oh no, it's too strong! Get away! We made too close. Oh, it's pulling us in! Resist! Goodbye, dodos. May you... Oh wait! No, wait! Wait! Right, and I lied. So I came home from work and I decided to... I knew what I wanted to do with this small little enclosure. So I decided to build it, which you've probably seen a little bit of me building it. But this is it. We have a little moat, which is like itty bitty Josh, which I'm probably going to put water in here. But as of right now, this is what we have. Not really anything crazy. Kind of waiting for nighttime so we can actually put the lights in. But while we wait for that, let's go pick up our nerds, because there's certain creatures that are going in there. Also, I'm trying to use Elytra more than just teleporting. But hey, it is what it is. But as you can see, we have Compys. These are all our Compy DNA. So this could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Ooh, hitting the head. We need a few things. One, we need to go over here. We're not in the way. The noise. Alright, and now it is nighttime, and as you can see, it is not really lit in here. So, we need to actually light it up down here. So, I think we still have some of these blocks, so we'll move that out the way. Just place things. Also, if you hear fireworks, that's because people are... It's 4th of July. We've already established this, people. I said 4th of July. I'm stupid. It's about to be the new year. Are you excited, people? Are you excited? Actually, this one has to go down. Blink. So we have some in the enclosure. We need... one right there. One right there. And one right there. Perfect. Now the enclosure is lit up. We can do the piece of resistance. Which I'm pretty sure these are just throwing eggs, so... Oh. They're not throwing eggs. Place them right here. We can wait for them to hatch. They are hatching. We need to go get some meat. We've acquired the meat. And now we wait. I guess while I wait for these guys to hatch. So initially, like I've posted on my post tab in regards to YouTube, we're going to build a medical center over there. But we need to add trees here. I'm going to fix the mountain so it looks a little bit better. And then eventually we'll build something over there. And eventually we'll fix the shops. I think I'm going to add one more shop over here. It's going to be something like super small. Maybe a sitting area as well. So, you know, people can look in and stare at the Compys. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And the goal was to start doing that today. But I actually do want to get this out before the new year. So that's what the plan is. So once these guys hatch, that will actually just be the end of this episode. I know nothing crazy occurred, but I did ramble a bunch, and I still have to edit this down. Respectfully, I want to be in bed by 10, which it is now 9:16. So I've also watched more Planet Kingdom, I think it is, or Prehistoric Kingdom. The boring little ones. Here you go. God, you're hungry. And then you. There's one more nerd. He's on the run. Dang, he's on the run. He's gone. Ta-da. Now all the Compys are full. And they all love me. And I think if we go to resources, they are wearing the dress spark. Resource pack. This doesn't work for some reason. So actually I could just take that off. Okay, we'll have infinite eggs. Then we have another male. So they will stay in this enclosure. And you know, after a while they'll get pretty big. And I may add more. But as far as it goes, that's pretty much it for this enclosure. And that'll be it for the rest of this video. So, I've already said it in the post, but I'm just going to say it here. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Like I've said, we've gained 300-ish subscribers. I know that's not like a billion kajillion, but respectfully, I'm glad in general that I've, you know, have people who occasionally watch. It's usually around 50 views per episode. So it's 50 people who watch my stuff. So that's pretty good. And like I said, I'm just doing this for fun. I actually have a job out of this. But with that being said, this is the last video of the new year. But also you probably will see this on the beginning. Well, correction. This will be the last video of the old year. And you will now see me in the new year. I promise. Actually, let me not promise. My goal is to continue doing more content. Because like I said, I want to go up past like 100 episodes in inspiration and in honor of Sir Poet Plays. So I know fireworks going off in the background, so I'm gonna cut it here close. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe for more content like this. Happy New Year's Eve or New Year's. I'll see you in the future, and have a majestic day.